Over the past 3 years, we've received nearly 200 submissions on cryptocurrency scams alone. Many of these are multi-level marketing or MLM schemes. They require members to recruit more members in order to get a referral bonus. According to the Consumer Protection Act, for an MLM to be legal, it must sell a product or provide a service.
MTI, blow my mind, blow my mind.
Merit Trading International, or MTI, began in 2019 in Stellenbosch and claims to have 280,000 members worldwide, with roughly 9 billion rands worth of investments. This is their sales pitch. For just $100 to $200, you too can invest. By using artificial intelligence technology in the form of a bot, they'll trade your invested Bitcoin in order to gain obscene profits, ranging from 10% per month to 0.5% per day.
With MTI, you have an opportunity to grow the number of Bitcoin you have. This is achieved by investing with MTI, and each day your Bitcoin will grow with the profits added from trading.
We had a little money lying around in the bank, and I said to my son, you know, everybody's talking about this MTI.
𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘶 is a single mother. In November 2020, she invested around 40,000 rands.
The first 2 payouts was very good. It was about 7,000. It was nice to convince me, listen, this is legit. And it's a South African guy.
That South African guy is CEO Johan Steinberg, a businessman whose history is littered with various unsuccessful MLM schemes.
You know, that we do not need new members as funds to be able to deliver on our brand promise. MTI is very clear on our mission, and that is helping people grow their Bitcoin through our trading services.
The head of MTI's referral and members program is former Mr. Johannesburg Clinton Marks. His wife Sherry Marks heads up MTI Communications.
She can sell you snow in the summer, you know, and we all believed her.
All seemed well to Hughes until all withdrawals stopped in mid-December.
Just the payout before old Christmas Eve, I never received. We should have got out about 70,000 already.
To investors' horror, Steinberg may have done a runner. MTI released a bizarre statement that before disappearing, Steinberg allegedly received warnings that his life was in danger and he fled to Brazil, after which all communication stopped. But where is the money? MTI says that it's stuck in their unregulated broker's account, the mysterious Trade 300. But a group of hackers, 𝗀𝗁𝗶𝘀, and Mr. Original, under the banner of Anonymous South Africa, had seen this coming. In September, they delved behind MTI's website and leaked evidence allegedly revealing it to be a scam.
It's a group of loosely affiliated individuals that have varying technical skills that try to achieve a common goal in the public's interest. The members were owned about 17,000 Bitcoin, and the scheme only had 7,000 Bitcoin in it. Clinton Marks was at the top of the binary tree, not Steinberg. Each of those top individuals, on average, withdrew between 200 and 30 million rand.
In fact, Clinton Marks is a 50% shareholder.
Award-winning investigative journalist Jan Vermeulen operates in the tech space. He reported on this story for My Broadband. Initially, MTI traded Forex.
Then, when they landed in hot water with the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, they changed to trading cryptocurrencies because they believed that they could skirt South African regulation that way. And they switched to using this legendary AI.
This is how a multi-level marketing scheme works. Imagine you have to recruit 5 people, and each one of those 5 people has to recruit another 5 people. Now, it takes just 14 reiterations of recruiting just 5 people before the whole world is recruited, making many of these schemes unsustainable. And it's that unsustainability that caught the attention of the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, or FSCA's Director of Investigations, Brandon Topham.
The FSCA's got a primary objective to protect the public from investors, financial institutions ripping them off. It was a WhatsApp group that I'm in, and somebody was trying to recruit in it. And I said, guys, I can tell you now this is not legit. And then I opened up the case internally.
Imagine Investec or Coronation, telling you that a proportion of your earnings, let's say 30% of the earnings of your investment in their fund is locked behind recruiting people into the scheme. People will pull their money out of those funds overnight.
𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗶𝘶 says it is a legal multi-level marketing scheme.
And obviously I get that question about, is Mirror Trading International a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme? Everybody seems to think that anything that has a recruiting function or a referral function is a pyramid scheme. It's not. Guys, when you're asking questions like that and you don't actually know what you're talking about, you look a little silly, I must be honest. If your company does not have a service attached to it or a product attached to it, then you've got a problem.
The FSCA did believe MTI had a problem, so Steinberg and 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗶𝘶 went to the FSCA to give the regulators a demonstration of the bot doing live trades.
There's no such thing as a magical computer that can outtrade the market. There's no trading platform whatsoever that we could find. It was basically his own trading platform that he was demonstrating. I said, but that's derivative trading. He said, what's a derivative?
A derivative's value is based on the underlying asset, like Bitcoin, and fluctuates according to the asset's expected future price.
It was very convincing. And there is really a Bitcoin machine that they say, but it works the whole time, going up with the American dollar and stuff.
And even Warren Buffett said, if you don't understand it, stay away from it.
The first thing you need to understand about Bitcoin is that there'll only ever be 21 million coins minted. It's a finite amount. Now, from that fact, MTI scheme would have them own all the Bitcoin in the world within 2 to 5 years, depending on the variables.
To explain Bitcoin in a nutshell, it is a digital currency and a banking system where no one has to trust one another and where there's no central authority. Bitcoin is worth over 600,000 Rand per coin.
This led MTI leadership to splurge.
The guys who got in first all bought themselves new cars, fancy cars. They bought new houses.
Including the Marxes, who allegedly live in this 11 million Rands home.
The house was not actually owned by them. They've obviously set up their assets in such a way that it would be difficult to liquidate. This shows foresight on their behalf.
In writing, the Marxists say there's nothing sinister about living in a friend's house.
And we are annoyed that people think that they can criminally behave in a way that is unbecoming, and every single other person that has then gone forward and published lies and slanderous information regarding MTI that is not verified and not factually correct.
Many of the people involved in MTI have been involved in a previous scam. The FSCA, that actually issued a warning back in August.
Then in November, the FSCA raided MTI.
They think that if they seize our laptops and our phones, that they're going to find something sinister about Mirror Trading International. The truth is, they're going to find proof of trade, which we've already given them, and they're going to find proof of Bitcoin balances, which we've already given them as well.
But then the FSCA found out Trade 300, their broker, was a front. What about Trade 300?
So our investigation into this broker led to a website which is, it appears to belong to the CEO of Mirror Trading International.
In this leaked Zoom video from December, 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 reports this to leadership.
But I haven't known what to say to people. What do I go and say to people? That Johannes scammed him, and I think all of us, and I think he's run away with our Bitcoin. I don't know that. I have also gotten irrefutable proof that Johan actually started Trade 300. We all bought into his vision. Now to find out that that man has lied to us. Johan is the CEO. Johan was the person who ran everything.
In writing, the Marxists say they aren't traders and therefore never doubted the authenticity of the trades. However, any funds they've utilized are proceeds of trades outside of MTI.
My husband has over 500 Bitcoin in MTI. Every cent my family and I have is in MTI. Clinton and I had nothing to do with the situation.
Clinton says he is not a director and contradicted his wife's claim, denying he invested 500 Bitcoin.
These leaders are now saying, we didn't know, we're not technical. They blatantly have taken money from the people. They knew, and they need to face the consequences.
But many suspect Steinberg is a puppet, and there's a puppet master operating MTI strings behind the scenes.
From the start, Steinberg was going to be the fall guy and vanish off into the sunset.
Steinberg hasn't responded to multiple requests for comment, but the Hawks are investigating, and this week the court appointed provisional liquidators.
Don't spend the money. So if you made a perfect legitimate investment of, let's say, 50,000 Rand, and you got back 70,000 Rand, in terms of our law, they can ask for the whole 70,000 Rand back, and you will have a claim for your 50,000 with every other investor.
Enter advocate 𝗃𝗏, whose team has been tasked by the liquidators to track down the Bitcoin.
Yes, we know where most of it is, but it's a difficult process. Some of the members that gained the most out of us is busy launder the money to obscure the origin of these transactions.
You're saying it's not 280,000 accounts?
It's between 48 to 60,000 investors. There was a lot of doubling of accounts, so one investor would have 100 accounts. The root of evil is not money, it's the love of money.
I'm disappointed in myself. My son is disappointed in me. I don't want to see other people end up losing everything.
Don't expect to get the money next month or next year. If you're lucky, you might get a small percentage back.